What would you put in your backpack if you had a new coaching engagement but could only take a limited number of items? Each episode, the Coach's Backpack looks at the multifaceted world of coaching and asks a new guest to tell us what they would take with them and why. Hi, I'm David Lowe, and this week we're taking a peek inside the backpack of Sue Haswell. Welcome, Sue.
Hello, David. Good to be here.
Brilliant to have you with us. I'm very much looking forward to this, looking forward to laughing, which I suspect we will be. So the first question for you, Sue, is if you had to describe what you do in under 20 words, what would you say?
Oh, does that count as one? Oh, okay. I would say coaching, training, laughter yoga, and hypnotherapy. And I help people gain new perspectives to inject play into work, have fun, and be kinder to ourselves. Oh, and release stress.
This sounds so up my street. So I'm very excited to find out more. Let's get into it. You've been asked to coach a new client, but you're limited to what you can take with you. So you've got your essentials, got your clothes, your toothbrush, your pair of rubber comedy ears. I've just put mine on for Sue's benefit. And in addition to all of that, you can take one book, a tool, technique, concept, method, approach, whatever you want to call it, one other item of your choice, and a person from the past or the present to accompany you. So I'm going to take my ears off to not keep putting you off. And I hope rubber ears were one of yours and I've ruined it for you.
No, I think I can get by without the rubber ears. I have got an elephant trunk somewhere and I'm just looking around to try and find it, but it seems to have vanished. So
I mean, it is a podcast, so it is limited effect really for everyone.
Let's just pretend. Let's pretend I'm wearing that
right.
that elephant trunk on the end of my nose. Right.
I'll edit it out. Oh, Sue wearing an elephant's trunk. No. Let's not do that. Right. So you can go in any order for all of those things, whichever you wish. What are you going to pack in your backpack first?
I think I'm going to go with... Oh, this is going to sound really serious now that you've just, introduced me as a laughter yoga person. But actually, I'm going to pack in my backpack this book. It's called The Daily Stoic. Now, to some level, that might sound like I'm heading towards philosophy, and I kind of am. The thing that I love about The Daily Stoic, bearing in mind that I've got to pack this in my backpack, and I was thinking this was more of a desert island, like I've got to be there
Many
for
people do.
some time. Oh, do they? So if I was going to a desert island, if I had only one book that I could take, then it would be The Daily Stoic, just because it's full of really lovely ancient wisdom. And I don't really get why we're not pulling that through and using that in our day-to-day life. So it gives lots of really useful thinking points. And today's Daily Stoic is by Seneca. I'm going to have to take my glasses off to read this, or it's pushing down my nose. Saying... The best and greatest number of authors have asserted that philosophy consists of three parts: the moral, the natural, and the rational. The first puts the soul in order, the second thoroughly examines the natural order of things, and the third inquires into the proper meaning of words, their arrangements, and proofs, which keep falsehoods from creeping in to displace truth. Every single day it comes up with something that you think, oh, actually, I wish I could remember that. And I do wish I could remember the wisdom that's in there. So just taking that apart, to actually understand the words that our clients are talking to us in, and the words that they're using, and what those actually mean to them, and being able to really examine those words and the labels they're attaching to things, I think is a really powerful way of coaching. But sometimes I just pick the book up and just go, oh, okay, what quote is there then? It usually delivers. Sometimes they are a bit rambling and you're like, oh, what on earth does all that mean? But fortunately, there is a description at the bottom saying this is what we think of it. The authors, Ryan Holiday and Stephen Hanselman, and I'm not on any commission, so...
Okay, ancient wisdom. Okay.
So yeah, a bit of ancient wisdom, but maybe it's not just ancient wisdom. Maybe it's more about a perspective change or a connection with philosophy as opposed to connection with whatever's just going on around us. It's sort of like taking that step out and engaging our observing self, engaging a look at things from a different perspective is what I like about it.
Because you mentioned that you are into mindfulness as well before we started recording. So mindfulness kind of taking us out into a different space. Your Daily Stoic taking you out into a different, more thoughtful space, maybe. Is there a theme here?
If there is, David, I think you might have just found that theme. If there is a theme, it is about the perspective. It is about being able to step away from something in order to get a better viewpoint of it, in order to look at it with fresh eyes. And because let's face it, most things in 100 years time aren't really going to matter. And then when you take it all back, you know, most things in 50 years time, and you just take it all back, and most people would agree that probably the day-to-day problems that they've got, even in a week's time, aren't really going to matter that much. So that perspective, I think, really does matter.
So what else is going in your backpack?
Again, this is about perspective again. I feel that this might be the mode of the day. I really do like a bit of hooking into NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and using submodality shifts. So really getting to grips and understanding what is going on for somebody, and for me for that matter, and just noticing what happens when that changes. So if we're experiencing an emotion, actually really checking in and going, well, what where is that emotion in your body or outside your body? Because if you're experiencing it, it's somewhere there. And what shape is it, and what size is it, and what color is it, and actually paying attention to that and just noticing as that changes. So again, it's about perspective. It might sound a little bit woohoo, but I've tried it so many times with people. And I did train ages ago in EFT, emotional freedom technique, or tapping as people call it. And it's kind of my go-to method. So if at any time I've got a client that's having an emotional overwhelm or is struggling through something, it's a way to really bring that emotion into calmness, to focus on it. So again, it's perspective. So should we do a little bit, David? Would that be a useful thing? Should we do that? So is there an emotion that you're running at the moment?
So I'm feeling happy at the moment. I've achieved a lot this morning, which is one of my core values. Got through a load of stuff, and now we're doing this, and I love recording these, right? So yeah, I'm positive and excited.
Excellent. So this positive, excited happiness, where about is it in your body or on the outside?
It's kind of lungs or chest and head and all the way through. So initially I thought it was kind of in my throat, because it was kind of if it's like stereo with those two things, it was kind of in the middle, but I think it's head and chest.
So you think it's head and chest?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. And what color is it?
Well, I don't know, red, green, blue. It's loads of things, because there's lots going on. I think it's kind of it's multicolored.
So it's a multicolored head, green, chest. Yeah. What shape is it?
Circles. Lots of circles. Bubbles.
So are they 3-dimensional bubbles?
Yeah, I think so.
And are they moving around?
Yeah, kind of floating. Yeah, moving. And
okay, so they're floating around.
Like round balloons at a party.
Round balloons at a party. And when you check in with those round balloons at a party and they're floating around and they're all those different colours, how does that make you feel?
I'm smiling now. It's
smiling
makes
now.
me happy. Yeah, it's fun.
So is it making you even more happy?
Yeah.
So it's shifting your happiness to a place that's even more happy.
Yeah, I think so. And when I think about it, it makes me happy of the feeling that I'm having.
Excellent. Okay, so it's shifting, it's changing. Are they what colour are they now?
Oh, well, they're kind of moving a bit like balloons, right? They're moving around, so they're kind of going up through into my head, back down to my chest, but because they're different colours. Yeah, they're just kind of switching around. So they're not, one circle isn't changing colour; it's just moving, and then another one is moving into space. So a bit like a lava lamp, but without being hot.
So you're now a one-man lava lamp.
A multicoloured one-man lava lamp.
Let's just hope that wax doesn't mix together, because that's going to be an interesting colour.
Yeah. I mean, my face is always quite flushed, so maybe I am. Maybe this is it. Maybe I've actually found my calling. I am a human lava lamp.
You could hire yourself out for parties. People hire themselves out to be sushi tables, don't they, at parties? You could be the lava lamp. We could all suddenly become
lava lamp man.
Yes.
I'm not sure I actually give off a lot of light, though. I mean, otherwise, I think my wife would have complained that, will you just turn the light off? I can't.
It's a dark lava lamp man.
Which is a bit of a crap lava lamp, isn't it?
So yeah, in terms of submodality shifts, in terms of just like checking in with emotions, again, that is about paying attention to emotions and paying attention to what's going on for us, and noticing that we can take charge of our own emotions. We have that ability. and it takes us the moments of stepping outside them to notice them, or the moments of paying attention to them, kind attention to them, in order to be able to do something with them.
So if someone was in a negative, let's imagine that I'd said, I'm feeling really stressed, I've got too much on, I'm feeling overwhelmed, and it's like a black cloud on my head.
So if you've got something negative going on, often a lot of energy is put into not paying attention to that negative stuff. We just don't want it, do we? We don't want it in our lives. So we put a lot of attention into holding it away, and let's bury that one. Actually taking it and having a really good look at it often really will change things around. And sometimes to the point that I've got clients to say, yeah, it's got a message for me. Actually, that big black cloud, that big black cloud has the message for me, and that message is whatever, slow down, smell the flowers, take some time for yourself, whatever it is. And actually understanding those messages and understanding that most of what our emotions are doing is trying to get some sort of message across to us, and listening to those messages can only be beneficial to us.
Okay, great, thank you. So we've got the daily Stoic, we've got submodality shifts.
Yeah.
Before we go in to find out what other item and who you're going to take with you, I want to dig in a bit about this laughing yoga.
Yes.
I'm going to have to say what my wife said when I said I was going to interview is, she said, surely if you're laughing and you're doing yoga, there's only one output. And it's one that is embarrassing when you're doing it. So what is laughing yoga?
So laughter yoga is laughter for no other reason than it is really, really good for you. It's a combination of laughter with deep yogic breathing. As you can see, there is no need for lycra or yoga mats or any of the paraphernalia. You just bring yourself and you laugh. And we're laughing because it is immensely good for us physically and emotionally and mentally. From a physical perspective, what we're doing is we're exhaling a lot. We're getting our diaphragm moving and our abdominal muscles moving, because we're aiming for belly laughter, which really is socially often not that acceptable. In fact, quite interestingly, President Erdogan years ago banned women from laughing in public, which I thought was quite shocking, but it also shows the anarchic power of laughter. So you can imagine belly laughter could be potentially really socially unacceptable. And mostly what we do when we are interacting socially is just a polite little chuckles and titters. And but with laughter yoga, the aim is to go for the belly laughter, to really engage with it. And by doing that belly laughter, there's several things that we're doing physically as well. So we're engaging our core muscles. So we're practically getting a little internal massage. That sounds wrong. You might need to edit that one out or not. I don't know.
I'm not editing that out. It's going to be the strapline of the podcast going forwards. Come to the Coach's Backpack podcast for an internal massage.
Well, let's see where that one goes. So we're giving ourselves an internal massage. We are really connecting in with our laughter. It's impossible to be stressed and laugh at the same time. They're two things that just do not coexist. But there is some science behind this, because our out breath, when we're breathing out, then our heart rate slows down. When we're breathing in, our heart rate speeds up. So when we're breathing out for longer and expelling more air as we do when we're laughing, then actually we're doing some good to our blood pressure and our heart as well, although it does go up while we're doing the laughter. Connection, especially now with COVID, that whole connection thing is really important. Human connectivity is essential to us. There are so many experiments that show that we really need that in order to thrive. So laughter yoga, which is great done on Zoom, by the way, and bear in mind that actually laughing in someone's face is probably about as good as coughing in their face at the moment. So it's not great to be doing up close laughter, or certainly laughter yoga, with people that are outside of your bubble. But doing it on Zoom can be fantastic, because then we can make that connection. We're connecting without a real, one of those sensible reasons, without actually trying to make ourselves be sensible or communicate in a professional manner. Actually, if the agenda is around laughter, because laughter is good for us, then suddenly we can connect without all the extra baggage that we're carrying. You're looking very serious there, David.
No, I just have so many questions that I'm not going to be able to ask in here. I'm assuming you're not doing it on the tube.
We should just do some.
Yeah, go on. Let's do it. I want to do it.
So I guess the first thing with laughter yoga is to understand it's laughter for the sake of laughter, and there's no other agenda to it. It's laughter because it's really good for us. It's laughing and it's deep yogic breathing. So you breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. And that gives us a break between the laughter. And it's childlike playfulness. So we're just connecting in and laughing because we feel like it. And also when we laugh together, then we will connect more and the other person is more likely to laugh. So if I start laughing, I'm guessing you're, well, oh no, I probably kiboshed it now by saying that, but let's see. If I start laughing,
and is it as loud, is the aim to laugh as loud as possible or just as deep as belly?
The aim is to take it to your belly, but the aim is to just laugh, actually, to just get some laughter in. So actually, even before we start this, David, on a scale of 1 to 10, how stressed are you feeling at the moment?
Not very stressed.
Not very stressed. Any
kids,
stress?
the kids aren't here, so I'm reasonably unstressed.
Are you at 0 or have you got like a little 1?
Not sure I ever get to a 0. Probably a 1 or a 2, but yeah, low, just a kind of a low.
Okay. So that's going to be interesting to demonstrate because you're already there at the low, complete lack of stress. But we'll have a go. So we'll just laugh together because we can, and then do some breathing. So
and no one's listening, so it's all good.
Oh, it's going to be fine. Actually, I did do some laughter yoga quite a few years ago, actually, and the local press came along and they brought their photographer and they recorded it all. And then the photographer at the end said it sounded like being in a turkey farm. I was like, great. That's just the glamorous lifestyle I was going for, heading up a indoor turkey farm. But there you go. You can think of that as well.
I mean, hopefully less death, but yeah.
Anyway. Let's really plunge ourselves into misery now that day. Yeah. With a laughter, then we'll just start with a facial warmer. So just warm it up. Yeah, a bit of a gurn.
And because it doesn't really work for a podcast again.
It doesn't.
Yeah, maybe we can do a video.
So how about just the lips then?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then maybe a bit of upper lip, upper teeth laughter. Lower teeth. It's just be great for your podcast because there is a difference. We'll see.
This is the weirdest podcast I have ever done. Yeah.
Definitely need to take some screenshots. We're really rocking the look here.
I'm getting hot as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Bit of blood moving around. And then all the teeth laughter. So
I am going to take some screenshots if that's okay. None of
the teeth.
Like an old man. You've got teeth there. No teeth. No teeth in the instruction.
We could do just a little bit of I don't know, a bit of monkey laughter. So this is where the breathing comes in. So what you do is you breathe in through your nose and your arms go up. So breathe in, and arms up, and then breathe out through your mouth and arms down. Do that again. Breathe in and up, and out and down. So tell me, David, how are you feeling now?
Feeling hot. I loved it. Yeah. I'm totally sold. I mean, I was kind of sold before we even started. I've got to be honest. I loved the whole idea of it. And I'm just thinking how I can get more of this into things I do. It's already quite an insane world that I live in. And I think this just adds an even deeper element of insanity on the low scale.
I mean, I don't know how insane your life is, but I can promise you that turning laughter into a default reaction, which I feel that I've done, or it's certainly my aim, it's my objective to turn laughter into my default reaction, I think has been really helpful to me. And I think it's really helpful to others.
I mean, I can see that being problematic, Sue. If someone says that their pet bird has died and you're like, sorry, default reaction. I'm really sorry. It's really sad for you. I get what you mean.
Yeah. With sensitivity, obviously. But when there's situations that can be really potentially disastrous for yourself, and actually switching into laughter can be really, really helpful. So a couple of years ago, I was going to deliver some training to a really large organisation with a lot of top executive type people, and it was winter, and I went out and I loaded my car up with all the flip charts, all you know what the trainer's bag's like, all the stuff. I'd even got my posh flip chart pens because I thought they were executive. I'm going to impress them with the pens. Yeah, exactly. They really did. So I got it all loaded up, all the stuff. I drove around the corner. As I drove around the corner, the light hit me, the sunlight hit me. My windscreen sort of just misted up quite instantly. And I thought, oh, I can't see much now. So what I'll do is I'll pull over to the side, because that would be a sensible thing to do, and I'll stop the car. So I pulled over to the side, even though all the hot air was on and everything, and pulled over to the side and crashed into somebody's car. Because the hot air was on, trying to clear my windscreen, I was going very slowly. I managed to make a real mess of both cars because I couldn't hear the crash, and it was like, oh. So I managed at a whole 5 miles an hour or something to write off both of our cars. And I still had to get from where I was, which was just outside my house, all the way to this training place, which was quite a distance. And I was immensely upset, and it was all my fault. And it's okay, you don't need to take this bit out because the insurance is paid up and it's all fine, and that I've fessed up and stuff. So I sat there in my car thinking, oh, this is bad. And now I'm really shook up, and I have to drive to this place, and I have to deliver training. And I was already a bit nervous about it to begin with. What can I do? I know what I can do. So I got my car, which was really battered because the two front wheels are facing each other, and decided to apply what I've always told everybody else to do: apply the laughter yoga, drive around, nick my husband's car, just move everything across to his car and use that, which is exactly what I did. So that morning I was driving around the corner in my car going, ha, 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 ha. The car was lurching, just because there was one tyre gone and one, it was just a real mess. So the neighbours could just see me laughing at the mess of literally the car crash that I was driving around that corner. But actually what happened is, once I'd stolen my husband's car and confessed up to him and got to this place and carried on laughing all the way, I was in a great place to actually deliver the training. It could have been a very different day.
Yeah, your world's more insane than mine. I've never done that. You win.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, thank you very much. I mean, I could just carry on with the laughing, but we've got to go back to your backpack, unfortunately. Yeah. Well, we should go back to your backpack. So you've got, if I remember rightly, one item of your choice left, and the person to bring with you as well.
Yeah. So the other item of my choice is a really bad choice for a podcast, because the other item of my choice is silence, because I just think it's such a useful space to have between two people where someone can really feel held. Obviously not physically, because COVID, and also that would be inappropriate. But someone's thoughts can feel really held. And it means that their thinking can be of a much better quality, or of a quality that allows them access to wisdom that they would hold themselves but don't usually access.
Good, okay. All right. And who are you taking with you?
I'm going to take, but I think I'm going to take my sister. I'm going to take my sister.
I really hope you've got two sisters, and I'm going to get you to choose one of them.
Because she always seems to see not the bright side necessarily, but she's just very philosophical about life. Just got some great sayings. The whole, not my monkey, not my circus is probably one of her favourite, and says it frequently. And she just puts up with so much with a smile.
I want the Daily Stoic too from your sister then. 27th of October. It's not my monkey, it's not my circus.
Yeah.
I like that. Not my monkey, not my circus.
Not my
Because
monkey,
I love
not
a
my
monkey.
circus. Yeah.
I mean, no, hang on. Whoa. I like monkeys. I mean, I don't love a monkey. Okay. Right. Well, look, your backpack is filled. Your sister doesn't have to go in the backpack, by the way. She can just accompany you. You're not squeezing her in.
I'm not. Oh, that's probably quite a good thing.
Now, sometimes when we pack our bags, people might help us and might sneak something in that we don't expect or want. So if there was one thing that you'd want to make sure is not in your backpack, what would it be?
The one thing that I would want to make sure is not in my backpack is anything to do with Brexit. It's so divisive and so hate-filled and such a negative thing to happen that I wouldn't want it anywhere near me. I don't think I'd want any COVID either.
I've had enough of it all. So Brexit's not going in the backpack. If you had to choose where you are or are not going for this fictional coaching gig, where would it be or where would it not be?
Oh, well, it was heading towards a political situation, but I changed my mind. It would not be in an industry that was messing around where it didn't need to. Let me give you an example. Ages and ages ago, I was invited to do some work for a company that does, get this, genetic flower modification. That's flowers as in floral flowers, to make them brighter or something. We're just messing too much with the whole nature and the whole system of things without any rationale behind how that's going to have a knock-on effect. And then that whole domino effect of, yeah, okay, then let's make the flowers a little bit brighter. But actually, what is then going to happen? How are pollinators going to do whatever pollinators do? What are they going to feed on? I just think there's a massive knock-on effect. And actually to start getting back to more basic, just appreciating what we have rather than constantly chucking a bit of science at things in order to make it aesthetically more pleasing.
I mean, I haven't noticed that flowers are shit at the moment. I've got to be honest.
No, they're pretty good.
I mean, bees like them at the moment. They're happy with them.
Exactly. All of the, everything's all good. So let's not mess with the flowers.
But you wait though. You wait for another 5 years. You see the flowers then, and you'll be going, "Whoa!
Why did I not do that?"
GM flowers. I can't believe I didn't see that colour before.
Exactly.
Look at that. Well, I'm glad I can now clear up the confusion about yoga and laughter yoga and not actually needing the lycra and the mats and the bendiness.
Unless you want to have, unless you want to be bringing the mankini, it's fine. There's no rules in any direction.
How do you know I'm not wearing it now underneath this?
Well, actually, now that I can see, really?
There is actually a yoga studio just around the corner from my office here, so I may just go along and I may join the two while they're doing yoga. Just poke my head through the window and just start laughing. Do you reckon that will go down well? There's laughter yoga. It's my version.
Yes, exactly.
Well, Sula, this has been a real laugh, literally. If people would like to know more about you and all of the coaching that you do, where can they go?
The best place is probably my site, which is just suehaswell.co.uk.
Well, thank you very much, Sue Haswell, for being a guest on The Coach's Backpack.
Thank you so much for having me.
And thank you for joining us on this episode of The Coach's Backpack. If you would like extra goodies such as free tools, offers, further information about our guests, and maybe even the odd peek inside their actual backpack, sign up to our mailing list at thecoachesbackpack.com. And don't forget to follow the podcast too. See you next time.